Hello everyone, welcome you all in this session. Myself, Assistant Professor Vipul Gupta from LJ School of Law. Today we'll discuss the subject of law of contract and the topic of discussion is modes of discharge of contract. Now what is discharge of contract? That means when the parties terminate themselves from their legal contractual obligation. So once you perform your contract or by either way when you discharge your legal obligation from your contractual relationship, that is called discharge of contract. So we'll discuss here the different kinds of modes of discharge of contract. So first mode of discharge of contract is by performance. So by performing your function you discharge from your liability or you discharge from your contractual obligation. So there are, as we have discussed earlier also, here also there are two type of performance: actual performance and attempted performance. So what is actual performance? There is a concept between you and me that if I am going to sell you the bicycle for rupees 1000 rupees and you send me 1000 rupees, I send you the bicycle. So this is called actual performance. If both parties has performed their function, that is actual performance. So we have performed our legal obligation. So we both parties are discharged from our legal obligation, that is under the contractual obligation. So we are discharged from the contract by performing our functions. Second is attempted performance. Over here the promisor is the one party has performed their function, but the second party is a promisee intervenes in his performance, or he didn't accept his performance, then it's said to be attempted performance. Here the promisor is discharged from his contract because he has performed his legal obligation, that is towards his contractual liabilities. So there is again attempted performance where the parties can discharge from their legal obligation defined in the contractual agreement. Then second is mutual agreement. You are discharging your contract by mutually agreeing on certain things. So if both the parties agreeing on some point that yes, we agree on this contract, that we are not following the previous legal obligation, but we are now allowing this to discharge our functions. For example, if I have to pay you rupees 1 lakh rupees, and if because of such a situation we agrees that I'll pay you 75,000 rupees. So if when I'm paying you 75,000 rupees, we both are mutually agreeing that now we both are discharged from our contractual obligations, because by applying this clause in our agreement that we both agree on taking 75 rupees, then here we both parties mutually agree on discharging our contractual liabilities, that is defined contract. So if you are not accepting this 1 lakh rupees, you are not accepting 75,000 rupees, then this contract may not be discharged. But when you are agreeing that okay, I am ready to take 75,000 rupees in place of 1 lakh rupees, then we both are discharged from our liabilities under the contract act by mutually agreeing on certain things. Then next is discharge by impossibility of performance. Okay, so when there is an impossibility in obligation of your contractual agreement, then becomes an impossibility of the performance. You cannot perform the said function because it is just impossible in nature. There are two types of impossibility: impossibility in initiation, that is impossibility from when you make a contract. From initial stage it is impossible, and second is after subsequent some time that becomes impossible. So when it is initial impossible, then it says to be initial void. For example, I make a contract with you that I'll climb Mount Everest within a day or in 24 hours. It's just impossible. We cannot do that. And subsequent impossibility means when there is an unforeseen change in the law or unforeseen destruction of subject matter, then the contract cannot be performed. For example, I supply certain drugs or agree to supply certain drugs, but if government put ban on that kind of particular drugs, then I cannot perform the contract. So it is an impossibility of the contract. And subject matter means for example, if you are agreeing to marry Mr. B, but Mr. B died, then the subject itself is no more, so you cannot perform the contract. So that is called discharge of contract by the impossibility. Next is discharge of contract by lapse of time. So as you know, in the Limitation Act 1963, they have specified certain time limit of filing the rules of court or matter in the court. So if you are just fail to apply your case in the court, or fail to file a case against that court who has breached the contract, you cannot further file the case against him. For example, you are, you need to take money from SEBI for of the loan you have paid to him, and he's not paying a single installment to you, but you are just busy and you cannot file a case in the court. Then in future, after 3 years, you cannot file the case for this date, because you have just missed the time. So here you can, both the party again discharge from their contract because it is a lapse of time. The next is discharge by operation of law. Over here, if any person declared to be insolvent, or if that person dead, then you cannot perform your contract. So here again you discharge from your liability. Then next is discharge by breach of contract. Over here, the parties may discharge from their contractual liability by breaching the contract. Means one party breached the contract or not obeying the legal obligation in the contract, then the other party can discharge from the contract. So in that, there are two situations: actual breach of contract and anticipatory breach of contract. In actual breach of contract, the person just not, by after making the contract, they are not following the guidelines of the contract or not obeying the legal obligation defined in the contract, then the other party has a right to file a case against that person for a breach of contract. In anticipatory breach of contract, the person just rejects or just disagree with the contract before its performance. So here, in both the situation, the person loses the rights over the contract, because in both situations they don't follow the obligation defined in the contract. So in both the situation, both the parties have discharge from the performance of contract. The next is discharge by way of remission. What is remission? By waiving. So if I have to pay certain amount to you, but you just waived certain amount, like last installment you waived. So here, after waiving that last installment, we both are discharged from our contract, because it's like a mutual agreement that we have discussed earlier. We mutually agree that you will waive the last installment for me. Then we both, by paying certain amount, I am just free from my contractual liabilities and I discharge my performance. The same way, we are also discharging from the contractual liabilities. The next is discharge by not providing of facilities. Over here, when you are contracting on certain things, but in that contract you need some facility from the other person, and that person is not provided that facility, then you can discharge from your contract. For example, I am ready to accept certain goods from you. That means you will deliver certain goods to me, but I want proper packaging for that goods. If you are not providing me that packaging, then I discharge from my performance, because I want that goods in particular packaging in that facility, and if you are not providing that facility, then we both are discharged from our performance of contract. So these are the various modes of discharge of your contract, from where you can discharge yourself from the contractual liabilities that you have agreed on one point. So these are the different modes of termination of legal obligation in the contractual liabilities. Thank you.